Hello friends, welcome to Simply KDP, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you the complete beginner's guide to creating children's storybooks using AI. The good thing with this method is that everything and every AI tool we're going to be using is completely free. So let me just show you a sample of something you'll be able to create once you learn the concepts I'm going to share with you in this video. And the good thing is that this, I can guarantee you, once you finish this entire video, you will be able to create something like this, even something more amazing than this. And this storybook, I even published it on Amazon just for fun. Basically, I didn't even do research on this storybook, but you need to do research in order before you can publish on KDP. Of course, you have to do research. So in this video, we're not going to cover the research part. We're concentrating more on the creating part, how you create the children's story book. So I have this guide that I normally use to create my children's storybook using AI, and some prompts I'm going to share with you and how you can use them. So if you are new to the channel, you are very welcome, and I'm sorry to my subscribers that I haven't been uploading frequently to the channel, but I will try by all means at least to upload a video at least once a week, if possible maybe 2 videos a week, so that we can keep updated. Okay, so for those of you that are new to the channel, you can subscribe and join our family, and wishing you success with Amazon KDP and self-publishing. All right, so now I've already shown you the type of book you'll be able to create. This is a children's story book, and you can see the images. I'm no artist, but you can see these images are very good. And let's get started right away. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open up a new Google document. Okay, now the reason I like to use Google document is because you can easily access it from anywhere in the world and on any device. So you can call this whatever name you want, but for now let's just leave it blank because we're going to give it a name of our book. Now, in order for you to start creating your book, of course, let's say for example you've done the research, you found the niche that you want to target. Now, if you don't know how to do research or find out which niche to target, I have a video that shows how to do keyword research, the ultimate tricks and strategy. You can just go through this. I explained everything in detail. It's quite a bit long and maybe poorly edited, but believe you me, the information that is in this video is very valuable. So make sure you go through this if you don't know how to do keyword research to find out what type of book you should create for a children's story book or for your low content book. The concept or the strategy is the same. So when you are on ChatGPT, you can just simply log into ChatGPT. You don't need the paid version. The free version is very all right, and this is what we are going to do. So the first thing you are going to do, of course, is to create or get title ideas. So you are going to type in a template. Now, before maybe we will type in a template, there are a few questions I like to answer before I actually start using the AI to come up with ideas. So the first thing is this, I answer these questions. What do I want my story to be about? So you have to answer this. For example, let's say if you want your story to be about friendship, you can just simply put the answer as friendship. And if you, how many characters do you want? So let's say for example 2 characters, and what type of characters are they? Are they animals? Are they humans? Are they aliens? Something like that. So let's say for example animals, I tend to find that animals do well with kids. And if they are animals, which ones? Which animals are you going to go with? There are a lot of animals: elephants, giraffes, maybe something that is found in water and the like. So you have to choose which types of animals you are going with. Okay, so I'm not going to draw much on this, but at least when you have such an understanding of these questions, it's easier to start generating. So now the first prompt is the prompt which I call the story generating prompt, or generate story idea using AI. So this is the prompt. So let's say for example, you can see here, for example, I said I'm going to go with friendship, then I need 2 animals, then maybe I can go with hippo and crocodile. That's what I did in this case when I was creating this. Okay, so now maybe for this one we're going to go with a different type of animals so that you can follow along. So here is the prompt. I'm going to show you just a moment. Let me just copy this and come back to ChatGPT and paste it here. Okay, now I'm going to make some edits to the prompt. So here is what the prompt says. I'm seeking to create a storybook for kids about friendship between two characters who are guinea pigs. Now let me just change this. Let's say maybe let me not use guinea pigs. I'm going to use ducks. Okay, yeah, let's go with ducks, and I want you to generate 30 ideas for the title of the book. Maybe let's not go with friendship, let's go with discipline. Okay, all right, so this is our prompt. Now I'm seeking to create a story book for kids about discipline between two characters who are ducks, and I want you to generate 30 ideas for the title of the book. So I'm just going to click send message, and ChatGPT will generate 30 ideas for us, and we can pick from those ideas. Now these stories or the title ideas that are generated, you also have to make sure you check if any of them they are trademarked. Okay, if they have a trademark, so that you don't get into any complications. But for now, let's just dwell much on this concept. So here are some of the titles: Duck Duo, The Discipline Dilemma, Quack and Quill, Learn Discipline, Waddles and Paddles, The Tale of Discipline, DuckTales, Learning Discipline Together. Okay, all right, so I like this one, Quail and Quack's Discipline Adventure. Okay, so Quail and Quack Discipline Adventure. So I'm just going to copy this title, like that's the one that I like, and I'm going to come to my untitled document here, and I'm going to paste it there. Then I'm also going to paste my title here and just highlight this. Then I'll change the text to title and then align it to the center. So this is our title, Quail and Quack's Discipline Adventure. So I'm going to come back to my KDP template that I use to create children's storybooks. This is the complete beginner's guide to creating children's storybooks using AI. So we are done with the first. We've generated an idea for our prompt. So now the next thing we would want maybe to generate a subtitle for our prompt, and this is the prompt that I normally use. You mention the title you like. You mention like, I like this title. You have to replace the title you like. Then you say, kindly generate a subtitle for the book. Okay, so in this case, let me just say, I like 24, kindly generate a subtitle for the book. So let's go right ahead and click enter. All right, so you can see the subtitle, A Quack Journey to Self-Control. That's the subtitle that we've been given. So let's just go right ahead and copy it. We may want to use this or we may not. It's not necessarily a mandate, but we're just going to copy it and see how it goes. So let's just paste it here as well. Okay, let's remove the highlight. Okay, like that. So that's our subtitle. Then the next thing we want to do, of course, is now to generate storylines. Okay, that's step 2. We've generated our title and our subtitle. So step 2 is to generate storylines with AI. So here is the prompt that I use: generate 15 short interesting storylines for the book and keep them entertaining with 2 main characters. Okay, so here is our storyline. I'm going to copy this and come back to ChatGPT and just paste that. Okay, we can see saying generate 15 short and interesting storylines for the book and keep them entertaining with 2 main characters. So I want 2 main characters. So let's say, for example, if I was answering these questions and I had only 1 character here that I wanted, then on my prompt I would have changed these 2 to 1 character, and I'm just going to click enter. Okay, so you can see ChatGPT is generating these storylines, and these storylines are going to help us in a very big way, and you see in just a moment. So ChatGPT continues, and you can see these are the storylines that have been created. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm not going to read them through, but let's just say I'm happy with the storylines that have been created. I'm just going to copy this and come back to my document, and I'm going to paste this. Okay, so if I click paste here, you can see it has even been formatted quite nicely, and this is good. So you can see, so we have a title. Let's say for the first storyline is the Great Pond Race, and you can see Quail and Quack enter a race but must learn discipline to resist distractions along the way. That's our first storyline. All right, so our book is coming up nicely, and the next step is we're going to go back to our template or our guide. And here, once we've generated our storylines, the step 3 is to generate prompts that will enable us to generate colored illustrations. Now these illustrations will represent each storyline. Now what I'm saying is exactly what we are going actually to use as our prompt. So I'm just going to copy this, generate prompts. Okay, let me just copy this. Now what I like to do, I always like to instruct the AI or ChatGPT to generate prompts that will help us generate illustrations that look like they are hand drawn. We don't want our illustrations to look or to always be detected that they were done by AI. We want them to look more, have that human feel. So you can see this is the prompt I'm going to use. Generate prompts that will enable us to generate colored illustrations that represent each storyline for the book using DAO 3, and these illustrations must have cartoon style and seemingly drawn by hand. Now don't worry about DAO 3. I know with ChatGPT DAO 3 is a paid version or is part of the pro version. I'm going to show you how you get access to DAO 3 for free with an AI that is publicly available right now. So I'm going just to choose this and just click enter, and you can see ChatGPT is generating prompts as per our storyline. So you can see, like, for example, this is the first storyline, the Great Pond Race. If I go back to our first storyline, you can see that was our first storyline. So to generate an image for our storyline, you can use this prompt. So let me allow ChatGPT to finish, and while it's finishing, what you want to do, maybe before it finishes, you want to come to open up Edge, and you want just to search for bing.com. Open up bing.com, and you want to click on Copilot. Okay, just click on Copilot. This is the platform we are going to use to generate our images with those prompts. Okay, now Copilot is actually an AI by Microsoft, and it gives us access to DAO 3 for free. So this is what is going to help us generate, and you'll be able to generate these kind of wonderful images. So you can see, like this image, you can see someone can even think that I actually drew this by hand, but initially this was done by AI. Okay, so that's the thing. So you can see, let me give you an example of another image. You can see this one looks like it was done by hand. All right, even this one, these are good images. You can see this one looks like it was just done by hand, maybe a painting, something like that. Okay, or even this one. Okay, so those are the type of images we want. So you can see ChatGPT is done generating our prompts. So I'm just going to copy this again, come back to our document, and I'm going now to paste our prompts here. Okay, all right, so we have our prompts. Our book is almost done. So the next step now is to actually generate the images for our book. Okay, we have to generate the images for our book so that they are ready. So now let's just go right ahead. These are our prompts that are ready for us to use. Okay, so let me just indicate that these are prompts like that. All right, so now let's come back to Copilot, and this is what we're going to use to generate our images. Now let's open up our document, and now I'm going to copy the first prompt. Okay, 2 ducks, quail and quack, racing on a winging pond with lily pads and okay, whatever. Let's just copy this. Let's just say I'm happy with it. Come back to Copilot and say let's put it on balanced or creative. Okay, if creative is all right. And here under the Copilot option, what you want to do, you want to change from Copilot, you want to choose designer. Okay, so just click on designer like that. Then what you want to do now is to enter that prompt. Okay, so I'm just going to paste it, and let's see the results we're going to get. Now there's no crime in you actually editing the prompt to suit what you want if you don't get the desired result. So you can even change it a bit. So for example, let me just go right ahead so that I show you what I mean. I've just pasted the exact prompt as given by ChatGPT, and let's see what we get. Okay, all right, so you can see we have 4 images that have been produced, and you can see they are powered by DAO E3, the same one I already mentioned that is actually paid with ChatGPT Pro. So now what you want to do when you choose image to use, you want to make sure the colors are easier to replicate. So I like to go with colors that are simple. So let's say, for example, this one is a yellow dark, and the other one at least looks a bit darker, or maybe we can go with this one. Okay, whatever. But okay, let's just say I like this one. This one looks, you know, kind of children like image that they would like. Okay, so let me just go say I like this one, and all that is left to do is to download this image. If you want, you can be more descriptive and describe the colors of the ducks. So let's say, for example, quail is yellow and quack is a duck with black color. Okay, you can go right ahead and describe them like that. You can put more description to get an accurate representation. So this is our image. I'm just going to download this by clicking the three dots here and click download. Okay, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT or to my prompts and go to the next one and just copy this, come back to designer or Copilot designer, paste in my prompt. So you can see this prompt doesn't specifically mention that these are ducks. However, let's just try to see if ChatGPT will be able to tell that we are continuing our story. So I'm just going to continue with the same one. Okay, all right, so you can see that the image has been produced. However, when you look at the color, this is a white duck. Okay, now if you look at our first image, that's why I said it can be more descriptive. So this is not necessarily very good for our image or for the continuation of our storybook. So we'd maybe like to edit this prompt a bit. Okay, so we're going to say, I'm just going to paste again the same prompt. So I'm going to say quack, who, a yellow, and okay. So I've just added a bit of description to the image so that it can look more presentable. Then let me say the image should look hand drawn like that, and click submit. All right, so you can see now the more descriptive you can get, the better the results. So now you can see, I think this, I like this, the first image, it looks more like our first image that we actually downloaded. Let me just show you our first image. You can see this image that we used, and this one, they look more like one and the same. All right, so I like this image, and you can see it quite looks very similar to the first images that we had actually generated. You can see there's the yellow duck and the other one that looks a bit dark. And if you go back here, if you check at this image that we have chosen, looks quite a bit similar to this. Though our first image, we didn't specify that it should look hand drawn, so we might have to go back and regenerate this, but I think I'm happy with this. Let's just say we are happy, and you can see, so the more descriptive you can get, the better the results, and this definitely is very good for our book. So I'm just going to download this, and you have to continue for all the prompts that are here. You have to continue for all the 15 prompts. So now I'm not going to do that for the sake of the video, but the procedure is the same. You have to do this for all the 15 prompts and get an image that actually represents what is being described in the storyline. Okay, then once you are done, you go to the next step. So you have to come to this website known as Canva. So you can see this is the actual book I created, and this was done in Canva. And now this is what I'm going to show you how you do this. So we're going to now create our storybook. We're going to actually put these together: Quail and Quack's Discipline Adventure, a Quack Journey to Self-Control. We're going to put this together using Canva, and Canva actually has a free version. You don't need the paid version to do this. The free one is very okay. So what you're going to do first and foremost, you want to click on create design, and we are going to actually choose your own custom size. This is what we're going to do. Now personally, I like to use BookBot when creating my books, but for the sake of everyone, because BookBot is not entirely free, you just get a 3 days trial. If you want, you can try it out, but I believe it's the best investment you can ever make if you're serious with Amazon KDP or creating books online. Now, so we're going to choose custom size here, and here you're going to change it from pixels to inches, and here you're going to put we're creating an 8.5 by 8.5 book. So now instead of having 8.5, because what we could be creating is a book with bleed, so we're going to add a bit of extra. So we're going to say 8.625, height will be 8.75. okay, and just click create design. Now it doesn't matter if you don't understand what I'm doing, just do this exactly as I'm doing it. Don't worry about why we are doing it, just do it just like that. Okay, and click create new design. All right, so now we have our first page. Now in order for us to create a book, the minimum requirement for Amazon to create a children's book is 24 pages. So you just have to duplicate these pages up to 24. Now because we generated 15 prompts, we are going to create a 30 pages plus book. So we're going to duplicate this 15 times to create 30 pages. So I'm just going to start clicking, okay, duplicate this until we reach page 30. All right, so you can see this is page 30 and we are ready to start designing our book. So we can give it a title. We can say, what was the title of our book? All right, so Quail and Quack's Discipline Adventure. Let's just copy this, come back to Canva, and we're going to name this project using that title. All right, so now the way our book will be set up, let me just show you how it is. For example, this one that I actually created, you can see we have this page. Now this page, you notice that it's appearing every after another page. Now this is a default page where our storyline will be placed. Okay, so this is our storyline page. We need a constant page that we can be using. Now we can generate this page using AI, and that's all right, or we can actually use Canva to create our own page. So if we look at this, let me just see, okay, maybe something that would look nice for us to actually use for our story. Okay, I think maybe this one looks okay. Now it's not yellow, this also looks okay, but maybe let's just generate another image. Let's just say a yellow. Okay, so let's just say I want to generate a yellow and black duck watching the sunrise long shot image. Let's see what we get so that we can use it for our constant page. Okay, so you can see this image looks more like our images for the duck and the yellow one, and I think this will be a good one for our static image. Of course, you can always choose something different, it doesn't matter. So I'm just doing it for the sake of this. I could spend more time trying to generate the perfect image for our book. So let's just say I'm happy with this. I'm just going to download it. All right, so now we can go back to Canva here, and I'm just going to click on the upload section here and upload, and go to downloads and just choose our image right here and click open. All right, so once the image has been uploaded, I'm going to drag it here and create our static page. Now sometimes before you actually duplicate, though I did it before, you are supposed maybe to create your static page before you actually do the duplication of the pages. That way it will be easier for you to actually just change this the way you want it. So I'm just going to drag this here like that, center it, and I'm just going to set this as our background image like that. Okay, now what you want to do, the other thing you would want to do is click on file, and you want to click on settings, and you want to make sure you show rulers and guidelines, and also show print bleed. Okay, so just click on that, and you can see the line that is showing right here means that everything that is outside these lines, these dotted lines, let me just zoom it a bit so that you see what I'm talking about. So these lines that you see here, the matching ants, it means won't be printed or will be cut. So since our image is all right, if we want, we can detach this image and just make it to reach just those lines. That will also be okay. You see when we're adding other images. So yeah, this will be our cover page. Now let's add something. We're going to add text here. Now before we add text, because when we add text directly here, it won't look Nice. So what we're going to do maybe is add something that is a bit whitish, maybe like a cloud, which is mostly recommended to use to add here. So let me just sit right here in Canva, clouds. All right, so now let's just go with this cloud that is here, and you can see it's okay. And I'm just going to enlarge it a bit. Okay, because I want to add text here, because if I just added text without this cloud, it wouldn't look as nice as it is supposed to. So let's just add it there. Then we can go right ahead and add text here, add text. Okay, so now the text here, we want also to change the heading, but now we're going to go back to our book and we're going to go back now to our storylines. So here is the storyline. So the first storyline, don't need to copy the title for the storyline, just copy the storyline like that, copy it like that, come back to Canva and you want to paste it here like that. Okay, so now we're going to reduce the size and set it up, okay, like that. Then now the other thing, what I'm going to do, okay, maybe the background is still not that good. What we're going to do is I'm going to change the font here to change it to something else. And normally when I'm creating a children's book, I like to go with this font in Canva. You don't know, it just looks nice for a children's storybook, and that's what I like to use personally. You can choose whatever font you like, that's all right also. And I'm just going to increase the font a bit. Okay, so let's just say that's our, now you can see I haven't done justice with the background. However, let's just say, okay, this is okay. Let's just say we are happy with this, okay? But you'd want to use maybe an image that isn't so bright, or you want to add a bit of darkness to this part of the image, okay, so that your text actually stands out. So once let's say this is your cover page, you are happy with this, what you want to do is now duplicate this 15 times. That's what I was saying. We were wrong to actually duplicate before we actually created the static page. So let me just delete the other ones that we had created so that we can actually just duplicate the static page, and we can add the other images later on, or we can just duplicate later on. Okay, so here it is. So what you're going to do now is just duplicate this, okay, like that, duplicate again, duplicate until you have 15 of these. Remember, 15 of the pages are our static page with their storylines, then the other ones will be our image pages. Okay, so 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so now we just need to go back here, and all we have to do now, this is our first storyline. Quail and Quack enter a race but must learn discipline to resist distractions. So the first image, we need to change this. So here we need to have our first image. So I'm just going to click add a page, and on this page we are going to add our first image that we generated with our first prompt. So I'm just going to go to uploads and choose upload and choose our first image like that and upload it. All right, so when we upload the image, all you have to do is click on it or drag it to our page, and you just need to set it up to reach these margins. And remember, anything that goes outside these matching ants will not be printed, because we'll be creating a storybook with bleed. So just enlarge this like that. Okay, so that's all right. So this is our first storyline. So you can see this is our storyline with text, then this is the image representing the storyline. The second storyline is that, and so meaning we need another page here. And so now our second storyline, remember you have to change the text here. So we're going to go back to our document, and you just need to copy this, which is our second storyline, come back to Canva, and here where there's a storyline, you just replace the text. I'm going just to paste that here. Okay, and this is our second storyline. So let's just say this is all right. Of course, you can adjust it to look at least better like that. All right, you can add a shadow, it's okay, it's up to you. Then okay, let's just say we are happy with this, so we just need to add an image here. And so I'm just going to click on upload files again and upload the third image to our book so that we have it here. Okay, so you need to do this for all the 15 images that you actually generated to create your book. Now let me just do this one as the last demonstration, because the rest is the same. We're just repeating the same thing that I just showed you how to do. So I believe you can do this from here. So now let me just go right ahead and add the other image here and show you how you actually save this document or project so that you can actually publish it on Amazon. So I'm just going to choose this image and I'm going to enlarge it. So I'm just going to drag this image or just click on it. So now all you just need is to align this image to make sure that everything that is important remains inside these matching ants. So I'm just going to do that right now. All right, like that. Okay, so you can center the image. You can just center it. Okay, so yeah, I think that's all right. So you can see this is our storybook and it's coming out quite nicely. So you can see that is the first storyline, the image for the storyline, second storyline, the image for the second storyline, and so forth and so on. That's what you just need to be doing. So once, let's say you are done with the entire 15 pages, you are going to click on the share option here and you want to click on download. Now when you're downloading, you're not going to download as PNG. You want to download as a PDF print, because remember Amazon will have to print your children's storybook, so make sure you choose PDF print. Now when you choose PDF print, you have to make sure the pages are more than 24. Now the reason they are showing 17 is because I've deleted other pages and I haven't finished creating the other pages that you can see here. Only our static pages are present. Of course I would have to finish this. Now let me just show you. So let's say for example we're just going to download this. Now you have to make sure if it is set, you have PDF print, all the pages are selected, then here you can use RGB or CMK, it's all right. If you are on the Pro plan and your images are in color, this is best recommended for professional printing. But even this RGB, it is all right, but I'm just going to go with that and click download. All right, so once we download our PDF print or our book, we would like to have a preview. Always preview before you publish your book anyway. Okay, so you can see this is how our book looks like. Okay, now sometimes I like to have a blank page on the first page to make our book look more attractive or well aligned. So this is our book and you can see this is the first storyline. Quail and Quack enter a race but must learn discipline to resist distractions along the way, and you can see that's the race, and you know little children love such kind of things. Okay, then that's the second storyline. Quack's impatience leads to chaos while fishing, teaching both ducks the importance of patience and discipline. Okay, and you can see that is that. Okay, and if you continue, our story goes on and on. So let's say for example if I had finished creating the book, it would be ready for publishing on Amazon KDP. So all that is left is now to create a book cover for this. However, in this video I'm not going to talk about how you create a book cover for that, but if you want that tutorial on how to create a book cover for your children's storybook, you can let me know so that we can also do that one. I hope this video is helpful. I would appreciate if you actually give this video a thumbs up and give it a like. Drop me a comment in the comment section to motivate me to create more videos on the channel. Thank you very much. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Thank you.